Everything you attract into your life begins with the vibration you hold within yourself. You can say the most enchanting words, memorize the most magnetic sentences, or play the cleverest games, but if your energy is rooted in fear, lack, or desperation, the vibration you send out will push away the very thing you want to draw closer. The universe does not respond to what you say. It responds to what you feel. You can look beautiful, speak eloquently, and behave gracefully. But if deep inside you are doubting your worth, you are unconsciously communicating that you are not enough. And people, especially men, sense that energy instantly. They may not have the language to explain it, but they feel it. It's the invisible undercurrent that defines every interaction you have. When you believe you deserve to be loved effortlessly, when you truly accept that you are valuable and complete on your own, your entire frequency shifts. You stop chasing, you stop proving, you stop performing. Instead, your presence alone begins to pull people toward you. That inner knowing radiates from your tone, your eyes, your posture, and your silence. You don't need to beg for attention because you have already given yourself the validation you were seeking from others. This is the moment where attraction turns into magnetism. Magnetism is effortless. It's not about effort, it's about alignment. When you are aligned with the belief that you are worthy of love, worthy of being chosen, worthy of deep respect, then that belief becomes a signal that draws to you those who recognize it and value it. Every thought you think emits a frequency. Every emotion you dwell in creates momentum. When you spend your time feeling anxious, replaying stories of rejection, or doubting your appeal, you lower your vibration. You begin to broadcast scarcity, and scarcity can only attract more scarcity. But when you begin to affirm your worth, not by repeating hollow affirmations, but by embodying them, your frequency rises. Suddenly, you notice that people start reacting to you differently. Conversations deepen, respect grows. Opportunities open. Men especially are drawn to women who vibrate at the level of certainty. It's not arrogance, it's quiet assurance. The kind that says, I know who I am, and I am not afraid to be her. This is the essence of true attraction. It's an inside-out process. The sentence that will make men chase you forever doesn't exist outside of you. It's the one you are already speaking energetically through your beliefs. It's the sentence you tell yourself when you wake up in the morning. It's the way you treat yourself when no one is watching. It's the standard you set for the kind of love you are willing to receive. When you begin to hold the vibration of worthiness, the words that come out of your mouth automatically align with that power. You start to say things that express calm confidence instead of insecurity. You stop trying to convince and you start to invite. You stop explaining and you start embodying. This is when you move from seeking validation to radiating value. A man doesn't chase your words. He chases the feeling your presence awakens in him. He chases the energy that lingers after you've spoken, the vibration that remains even when you've left the room. Every conversation, every glance, every silence carries a current of energy that either draws him closer or pushes him away. You may think it's the clever sentence, the perfect timing, or the right choice of words that makes the difference, but it isn't. It's the tone of your voice when you speak, the calm in your breath, the confidence in your posture, and the unspoken certainty that you are enough. That is what captures his attention. Men, by their nature, are drawn to energy that feels grounded, centered, and alive. Energy that doesn't beg to be noticed, but simply exists in its fullness. The reason energy matters more than words is because energy is truth. You can say, I'm fine, with a vibration that screams loneliness, and he'll feel it even if he doesn't understand why. You can say, "I don't need you," with resentment or with peace, and both will have completely different effects. The first pushes him away, the second intrigues him. Words only carry weight when they are aligned with your emotional frequency. The energy behind your words gives them life. A woman who speaks from a place of self-assurance doesn't need to raise her voice or demand attention. Her calmness is magnetic. Her silence holds authority. Her energy tells him that she's not trying to prove her worth because she already knows it. That sense of self-possession becomes irresistible because it feels safe and challenging at the same time. When you radiate this kind of energy, you communicate something profound without ever saying it. I am whole. I am not waiting for you to complete me. I am inviting you to join me. This is the kind of energy that a man doesn't just want to be near. He needs to be near it. It elevates him, it calms him, it inspires him. He feels like a better version of himself in your presence, not because you are giving him attention, but because your energy reflects his potential. Your presence becomes a mirror, showing him what connection can feel like when it's built on respect, not need. To embody this energy, you must first clear away everything that dims it: the fear of being rejected, the anxiety of being forgotten, the need to control outcomes. Those emotions create static that disrupts your signal. When you release them, your natural magnetism returns. You begin to move, speak, and exist in alignment with who you truly are. This is when your energy starts to communicate the things words cannot. When you walk into a room, people notice the calm in your aura, the poise in your eyes, the quiet power in your demeanor. You don't have to convince anyone to chase you because your energy already tells them you are worth pursuing. The sentence that makes a man chase you forever isn't born from a strategy, it's born from self-worth. Most people look for formulas, something they can say or do to create attraction. But they miss the truth that attraction begins with how you see yourself. When you speak from a place of lack, your words, no matter how rehearsed or seductive, carry a vibration of insecurity. They say, "I hope you like me." But when your words flow from self-worth, they carry the energy of certainty. They say, "I know who I am." That subtle difference changes everything. Self-worth is the invisible power that gives your words resonance. It's the difference between trying to impress and simply expressing your truth. When you speak from that inner knowing, your tone softens, your body relaxes, and your presence expands. You stop trying to be chosen because you finally understand that your worth was never up for negotiation. A woman anchored in self-worth doesn't chase love, she attracts it. She doesn't audition for affection, she allows it. Her energy says, "You can join me, but I'm already whole." That kind of presence is rare, and rarity creates desire. The sentence that makes men chase you is not a line you deliver, but a truth you embody. It could be as simple as saying, "I know what I deserve." But the power isn't in the words, it's in the conviction behind them. Self-worth turns an ordinary sentence into a declaration. It changes how you look at him, how you carry yourself, how you respond to his behavior. It allows you to say no without fear, to express boundaries without guilt, and to remain kind without being naive. Men feel that energy even when you don't say much at all. It's an aura that commands respect without demanding it. When you internalize your worth, you stop falling into the trap of performing for attention. You no longer shape your personality to fit someone's expectations. You begin to understand that the right man is not impressed by perfection, but by authenticity, and authenticity is only possible when you feel safe being yourself. Self-worth creates that safety. It allows you to exist freely, to express your emotions without fear of being too much, to stand in your truth without apologizing. The sentence that emerges from this place may not even be spoken aloud. It's felt. It's in your smile that says, "I'm at peace." It's in your silence that says, "I don't chase." It's in your actions that say, "I honor myself." That's what makes a man chase you, not because he wants to possess you, but because he wants to understand the source of your peace. When you know your worth, you don't need to manipulate emotions or use rehearsed tactics. You simply live from a place of deep self-acceptance. You move differently, think differently, and love differently. You start to attract people who match your frequency instead of those who test it. And the man who recognizes that energy will chase not out of fear of losing you, but out of admiration for the woman you've become. Scarcity fuels desire not through manipulation, but through value. When something is rare, it instantly becomes precious. The same principle applies to your energy, your attention, and your emotional availability. When you pour yourself endlessly into someone without boundaries, you unconsciously teach them to take your presence for granted. But when you know how to hold back with grace, not as a tactic, but as a reflection of your standards, you remind others that your time, your heart, and your peace are sacred. This isn't about playing hard to get, it's about being hard to replace. It's about understanding that your value multiplies when you stop overextending yourself. A woman who knows how to withdraw her energy when something doesn't serve her creates an energetic contrast that makes others sit up and take notice. She doesn't withhold affection out of ego. She simply refuses to invest in what doesn't nourish her soul. When a man feels that, when he realizes that your love isn't a given, he begins to value it more deeply. He understands that earning your attention requires presence, effort, and integrity. This is not punishment, it's magnetism through standards. Scarcity is not about the absence of love, it's about the presence of self-respect. When you value yourself enough to walk away from anything that doesn't align with your peace, your energy becomes radiant and untouchable. You no longer chase because you understand that what you bring to the table cannot be found everywhere. That awareness creates a gravitational pull. People, especially men, are drawn to what they cannot easily claim. It awakens their instinct to pursue, to prove, to rise to the level of what they desire. True scarcity doesn't come from silence or distance alone. It comes from emotional discipline, the ability to stay centered even when you care deeply. It means not reacting to every word, not over-explaining your worth, not trying to convince anyone of your value. When you embody this calm certainty, your stillness speaks volumes. It says, "I'm not afraid of losing you because I trust what's meant for me." That kind of emotional composure is powerful. It turns attraction into admiration. It communicates that you operate from abundance, that your life is already full, your joy intact, your identity whole. A man feels that energy and understands that he cannot treat you casually. You become a challenge not because you are withholding, but because you are self-contained. Scarcity, when rooted in love for yourself, becomes a silent teacher. It teaches others how to treat you. It teaches them that your boundaries are not walls, but gates that open only for those who approach with respect. When you no longer fear walking away, you gain the power to attract relationships that match your frequency. You begin to understand that space itself is seductive. The pauses between your responses, the moments you choose yourself over pleasing someone else, the quiet confidence in knowing your worth, all of it creates a rhythm that pulls others closer. Scarcity is not the absence of love, it's the presence of standards that make love real, grounded, and enduring. Emotional safety and mystery form the paradox that keeps desire alive. When a man feels both at ease and intrigued in your presence, he experiences a powerful emotional charge that makes him want to stay connected. Safety allows him to open up, mystery keeps him chasing. A woman who can say through her energy, "I'm good with or without you," embodies both. She doesn't play games, she simply radiates independence and calm. That balance between warmth and self-containment creates a kind of magnetic tension. He feels drawn to her peace, yet curious about what lies beyond it. She becomes the kind of woman who doesn't reveal everything at once. She offers emotional depth, but not complete transparency. She gives affection, but not dependency. She listens deeply, yet speaks selectively. That subtle restraint doesn't distance him. It invites him to lean in, to discover more, to earn access to the parts of her that aren't available to everyone. Emotional safety is the foundation of deep attraction. It's not about suppressing emotions, but about mastering them. A woman who is emotionally safe isn't ruled by reaction. She is guided by awareness. She can hold space for intensity without collapsing into it. She can express her truth without attacking or pleading. In her presence, a man feels understood, not judged, challenged, not criticized. That's what makes her energy irresistible. It feels like calm water after a storm. She becomes the emotional anchor that allows him to breathe. But what keeps his attention is the mystery, the quiet sense that there is more to her than what she shows. He senses depth that cannot be fully accessed, a richness that unfolds slowly. Mystery is not about being secretive or manipulative. It's about preserving the parts of you that are sacred, the pieces that only someone who has earned your trust gets to see. When emotional safety and mystery coexist, they create polarity, the dynamic interplay of connection and curiosity that sustains attraction over time. Many women lose this balance by overexposing their emotions too soon, mistaking vulnerability for oversharing. True vulnerability is rooted in confidence, not in need. It's the ability to be open without surrendering your center. A woman who understands this moves through love with quiet strength. She doesn't need constant reassurance because she trusts her own worth. That trust allows her to stay mysterious, not by hiding, but by living fully in her own world. She has passions, dreams, and interests that are hers alone. A man sees that and realizes she has a life beyond him, a life that he wants to be part of, but can never completely own. This combination awakens something primal in him. The safety she offers allows him to be vulnerable, while the mystery she carries keeps him alert and engaged. He feels simultaneously comforted and challenged. She becomes the emotional contrast he craves, the soft place to land, and the unknown horizon he wants to explore. He chases not because she withholds, but because she inspires growth within him. Her presence makes him feel both seen and stretched, grounded and electrified, at home yet hungry for more. The one sentence that makes a man chase you forever is born from truth, a truth that cannot be faked, rehearsed, or borrowed. It comes from the inner conviction that you are already whole. When a woman says, "I am already fulfilled," you can only add to it. She is not performing strength, she is living it. Those words carry a vibration of freedom, not defiance. They do not reject love, they invite it without attachment. That is the kind of energy that captures a man's attention in the deepest way. Because when you are fulfilled within yourself, your love feels like a gift, not a transaction. You are no longer seeking someone to fill an emptiness. You are sharing your abundance. That difference changes everything. It transforms how you communicate, how you love, and how you respond. It creates a shift where you no longer operate from fear, fear of being left, fear of being forgotten, fear of not being enough. You become rooted in self-trust, and that foundation makes your presence both soothing and electrifying. Men are deeply drawn to women who carry this kind of truth in their energy. It's not about independence in the loud sense. It's not about proving that you don't need anyone. It's about the quiet confidence that says, my happiness isn't dependent on you, but your presence in my life is appreciated. That energy feels light, expansive, and secure. It makes a man feel safe to approach because he senses no demand, only invitation. You are not asking him to rescue you. You are welcoming him to join you. You are not looking for someone to complete you. You are looking for someone to expand with you. When he feels that, he begins to see you not as someone he must please, but as someone who inspires him to become more. The chase then transforms. It's no longer about pursuit for possession, but pursuit for connection. This sentence, when lived and not just spoken, changes the dynamic of every relationship you enter. It prevents you from losing yourself in the process of loving someone else. It allows you to love freely without clinging, because you know that your fulfillment doesn't disappear when someone walks away. That awareness gives you power, not the power to control, but the power to remain at peace, and that peace becomes magnetic. It's the energy of someone who doesn't need to prove, who doesn't overextend, who doesn't shrink to be accepted. You radiate steadiness, and steadiness is deeply attractive. When a man senses that you are fulfilled within yourself, he feels inspired to match that energy. He wants to earn a place in your life, not because you demand it, but because your energy naturally calls him upward. He chases you not to possess your love, but to experience the serenity and depth that come from being near it. Your truth becomes his mirror, a reflection of what it means to love without fear, to connect without losing oneself, to choose from abundance rather than need. And that truth, once felt, becomes unforgettable